What's going on, everybody? My name is Jason and I make posters. Today's Thursday, so I'm going to be taking a movie out of my movie collection and making something out of it. I don't think I'm going to do a poster today. Depending on how familiar I am with the movie, I may try to do something like a logo design or something like that, but it just depends on what the randomizer picks. So let's go over and find out what movie I'm going to be designing for. Alright, so let's copy my movies onto my clipboard, paste them into the randomizer, and pick a random movie. Peter Pan, 1953. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit challenging for my goal, but I'm going to try to figure something out. All right, so the 1953 Peter Pan, here is the Blu-ray. And I think that for what we're going to be doing, if I'm going to do some kind of a logo that is actually inspired by this movie, I'm thinking that I'm probably going to do something related to Captain Hook. You remember the scene in the movie where all of the pirates are trying to convince them to become pirates along with them. So what if they had their own type of advertising materials or something like that? They would need a logo for that, right? So that's what I'm going to try to tackle. Let's jump into Illustrator. All right, so the first three rules when it comes to logo design is this. 1, use Illustrator for your logos. 2, use Illustrator for your logos. And 3, use Illustrator for your logos. I've seen so many people design logos in Photoshop and it just ends in disaster, so don't do that. The reason it's essential to design your logos in Illustrator is because you can scale everything as large as you want, as small as you want, and you won't lose any clarity. That's vector artwork, just in case you were wondering. All right, so I'm gonna pull up Captain Hook from 1953, and I've always loved his costume in this movie, so especially the color palette. I love the red, the gold, and the purple, and it's a great color palette, and I think we're gonna use that. So let's drop this into Illustrator, and all I'm gonna use this for is just going in and extracting the colors out of here. So I think the primary color is gonna be his red coat. So we'll do the red, and we'll grab the purple, and then the gold. All right, I think that looks good right there. Okay, so to add another layer to this design challenge, I'm not gonna allow myself to go the traditional pirate design route. This needs to be a purely corporate look. So what I'm doing here is I'm going through Adobe Fonts, and I want something with some personality to it. So like, for example, this one, Cardia, this actually has really good personality to it. I like these little cuts that we've got going on in here. So that might be one that I consider. And I also really like this one right here. I like that little arch inside of the H itself. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm definitely going to go the obvious style here. I am going to do the actual hook as part of the H. Totally going to steal from the 1991 movie. All right, so I really like this one right here. Paganini. I hope I pronounced that right. I'll probably go with the bold version, but we'll see how it all works once I get it into Illustrator. All right, so I got the text inside of Illustrator along with the 1991 Hook logo here. I just love the way that looks. It's just classic to me. So I'm just gonna play around with the type and see what I can do to give it a little bit more character. All right, so when I had those two O's together, I wanted to try the idea that, you know, this is a lifetime of servitude, so just kind of the infinity symbol there. It just wasn't quite working for me design-wise, so maybe a good concept with a different font, just not this one. All right, so in this movie, it's Captain Hook's left hand that has the hook on it, so I am going to put it on the left side of the H rather than the right side of the H, just to change it up a little bit. All right, so what I wanted to do here was to make sure that that hook looks like it naturally fits as part of the letter H. So what I did was I grabbed the letter U, just a little lowercase u, cut out pieces of that, and then just melded them together. I was wondering earlier what it would look like if we just kind of raise this up a little bit. So anytime that you're wondering something, just go ahead and do it and see what it looks like. And what you could do here is you could do like a little underline right here, and that gives it a little bit more of a corporate professional look because they just love adding in random lines that mean nothing at all. If you're gonna do something like that though, you have to make sure that you match it to the height of this right here. So let's get that to the bottom. So what I would do is this, just bring it over here on this side, bring this all the way in just temporarily so you can line it up. Bring this about like that, and then go all the way out to the end of where the K ends right there, and just let your smart guide do the job. Now that I see the thinness of that, I'm not really happy with it aligning to the bottom of the H, so I'll probably raise it up a little bit. You can actually do something like this, where it goes behind here. Then you can add a stroke to the outside of the H, and then just keep adding it like this till it's about right here to where it stops interfering. And then you can just take this, expand it, make sure you expand the stroke as well. Select this line, go to your divide on here, and then select your white, select same fill color. Now that is gonna select everything else on your canvas that's white, so just be aware of that. And then just hit delete. So that way everything is now one solid color. And then we can just go in here, ungroup everything, and then combine that together so it's one shape again. So this line right here is following the contour of the H. And if you want to, you can go in and do something like this. You can kind of add a little bit of roundness to this if you want to. I think I will. And I think I'll just leave this flat on this end because I like the way that it looks when it's lined up with that perfectly flat K on the right side. Okay, so the word hook itself should be this red color. I like that a lot. I might make the line gold. And I'm going to look up the lyrics to the pirate song, 1953. Here we go. This is the name of the song, The Elegant Captain Hook. I just want to grab a line from this song to kind of make like a tagline or something. I like this line here, "You'll relish the life of a crook," because it rhymes with hook. As far as the type goes, I don't think I'm going to use the same font, but I don't want to use something like Helvetica because it's too clean looking. All right, so nothing in here is really jumping out at me. I'm going to see if we can find something in the sans serif category that has maybe a little bit more personality, but it's not going to overpower. All right, so I'm going to try Mr. Eves right here. So we'll just do like the regular weight. I definitely like that better, but I don't like the all caps. So I am liking this one right here, actually. But now that I'm putting this all together, it kind of looks like a restaurant from the 80s or something like that. All right, so I do like the way that these fonts are looking with each other. I am going to go in here and kern all of these letters though. All right, much better. So now that I've got this, I'm just going to copy and paste this over here on this side, outline this. That way we can just kind of line things up a little bit easier. All right, so to do something like this, I'm probably gonna raise this up a little bit, so that way we can put this on the same line as this, and that definitely does interfere with our contour that's right here, but that's not really that big of a deal. What you can do is you can just kind of go in and eyeball it, especially considering this is only for a YouTube video. We're not actually designing this for a gang of pirates. And actually, now that I look at it, it kind of looks like a sword. So it is kind of cool, actually. And then what I want is I want the baseline of the text to align to where part of the shape for that H aligns. Yeah, so that way it sits up a little bit higher. And then we might be able to just kind of slightly increase to about right there. I think the reason it looks so 80s to me is because first off, the typeface, you would see this kind of font in like a cookbook or something, and seeing the word hook, it's kind of making me think of the word cook, but I still think it works. I wonder if we could add this right up here to the top and just kind of bring this in, maybe align it to that O. Okay, I actually really like that a lot. So if we're gonna do that, we have to reflect this. This is now following the contour of the top of the H. Beyond this, I think it's getting a little bit too complicated, so I'm just gonna stop right here. So you wanna make sure that whatever logo you're designing for will work in one color no matter what that color is. So everything works in one color right here. Let's change it to purple, change it to gold, change it to black. You can see right here that this logo will work in whatever color palette that you assign to it. And let's also do this just to make sure that we pass all of the tests. Works in white against a black background, so we are totally covered here. So here's the logo design and brand identity for Captain Hook and all of his pirates. All right, well, thanks a lot for watching me make that. That was fun. A little bit different from poster design, but it's always a good idea to switch things up a little bit and to do something that will challenge you. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe, and also click the bell for notifications to be notified of all new content. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.